Hello, collective. This is a timeless reading of yours. Please bear in mind some details before we get ready and into your reading. I am Master Seventh, aka Seventh, that reads these energies for you. Should you want to know a more detail on who she is, what she's all about, and what I have to offer, her details can be found in the description box below. A little bit of insight is that I provide remote wellness, alignments, and tarot intuitive insights. This is a timeless fire element reading for you, which means this belongs to and houses significance for the signs of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So the whole entire purpose of the reading may apply more for those elemental signs. It may resonate more, if you are here as a listener in either of those signs, being in your sun, rising, and or Jupiter position via Seventh, who reads these energies on this channel. Timeless means that whenever you come across this reading, there may be something within this reading that is for you. Although this is not a personal reading and just a general collective insight of a reading, I will ask that you consider participating in this game that I will mention now is more like a color game. I will ask that you take the next few moments to think of the color that you would like to hold on to the entirety of the reading. And you may choose the color of the rainbow spectrum. So whether it be the color red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, or violet. Choose any one of those colors and keep that color of that decision for the entirety of the reading. At the end of the reading, I will proceed in selecting a card and discuss how accurate this reading may be in your current state of listening to the reading. Okay? If you'd like to give me feedback on how this is for you moving forward, I am more than happy to be on the receiving end, and you may contact me via the information provided in the description box below. You may have to look for it, not sure, but I'm sure you will find a means to contact me, and if you'd like to share, or even if you want any of my services. All right, so I'm just gonna start meddling through some energies and see if there's anything else to tell you in regards to how any other reading goes. Time is irrelevant, so past, present, and future energetical timelines could always come forth, as well as femininity and masculinity, which means it's non-gender specific. And most importantly, take your color along with you in the reading. And use your discernment to take all of that which belongs to you and leave the rest behind as you leave the reading behind. Alright, this is again a fire elemental reading. Ties itself to Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Sun, rising, and or Jupiter. There's a lot of you are on a conquest of love and are being gaslit. You're not really sure how to keep the wound from ripping itself apart. There's an ongoing narrative, an ongoing situationship, an ongoing companionship that is causing a lot more wounds. And the wounds that have been formulated over time are dense and causing pressure, and needing yourself to release, needing yourself to cut the cord to be able to understand what's left of yours and what else comes in that's not yours yet, however, you may need to process. So this could be a very chaotic time at this moment. This may be the reason why you're here, because you're trying to figure out how to realign yourself. Yet the irony, I think, what you're not understanding is that you are actually in alignment, yet the chaos is due to the foreign objects within your stratosphere that is causing you to react. And that reaction has a valuable lesson that is important not to self-gaslight yourself of at this moment. And be privy that when you disconnect yourself in the intention of understanding wholesomely what it means to embody a desire of cutting yourself a cord of a disconnection of something or towards something, that it's an empowerment, that there is no loss in doing so. There is no fear in desiring to do so, or even the application of the performance, which would mostly resolve itself to being a ritualistic pursuit, because you're allowing a whole environment of self-righteousness to take a space of time and to be able to create something with that, and doing that with such intent, motivational focus is what the true value of manifestation is, that can be definitely reached when you understand the fundamental possible first step of cutting your cord with this situationship, this companionship, this situation that is festering. This is an ongoing, tiring love story. The foundation is a lot of power. I saw 727. There's a lot of individualistic power. And the problem of the situation is not the meeting of the two, yet the meshing of the dance that the two want to create, the song that both want to create with the vibration that they have to each other. They're trying to find the right chord of melody and harmony. And at this time, there are a lot of individual emotional greed and emotional desire that's left with a lot of needing to process shadow work, and a lot of people gaslighting themselves from that because they're absolutely daunted by the fact of seeing the real facets of who they are. So 90% of their ego takes shape in pretty much creating a rug of existence. And that subconsciously creates a motivation that while you're creating the rug, you're also simultaneously shoving shit underneath it and avoiding the reason as to why you're creating this rug. And you, the manufacturer of this magic carpet ride of yourself, understand what you're weaving essentially, because you're choosing the color, the makeshift, the time and speed for this rug to be done or to be created, to started, whatever, the quality, the longevity, the intricate design, the abstract, the uniqueness, the texture, the textiles. There's a sense of responsibility that you have in weaving your existence in all that you are and all that you have come across and want to continue moving forth. And there is a power need of knowing that you are in that manufacturing zone, and to ask you to re-empower yourself is for me to more or less ask you to learn how to realign yourself. And I'm a fast track way to kind of give you an easy pass ride to get there, should you choose me or someone like me that could assist you on understanding the difference of emotional pain and blame, and shifting it to a perspective of accepting the same narrative, yet empowering that. And doing that with such conviction that all the lessons that you thought you didn't know, you may know, or they still may be there, but you now could utilize different resources to maybe put closure and an end to an ongoing pattern. We have, there's a feeling that on the individual front of the two or the many that are connected to this webbing of existence of chaos, there is maleficent energy. How it teeters of importance is how wounded it is that you are. The more wounded you are, the more maleficent energy you actually might be around, that it's more important for you logically to remove yourself and disconnect yourself, so that way we can create a moat around you, so that you're in an island and you can protect yourself. And at doing so isn't a sign of negativity. If we actually think about the fact that you were in this situation and you felt actually very alone while surrounded and being connected and submersed and maybe even intertwined sexually with someone, but emotionally you felt so at different galaxies of the world, it doesn't matter how in the flesh you're interconnected, and yet you can still feel emotionally isolated or emotionally in lackluster appreciation, not feeling validated, not feeling heard, not feeling loved. And so to ask you to empower yourself, to put yourself in an island, is to almost subconsciously teach you to empower that of which it is you think is negative at this time. Because there's nothing different. You already feel like you're on an island. Maybe this island brought you here. This emotional need, this emotional validation that you need. And it didn't come or hasn't come, and you're not sure if it's coming. You are on an island. You feel alone. You feel isolated. You feel abandoned. You feel hijacked. You feel betrayed. You feel invalidated. I don't know if I said that again already, but you've created this, and it being this reality. And I'm not saying that you logically wanted to choose this reality of yours, but we need to bring accountability of the reality that an island brought you here to this reading. And now I'm asking you to disconnect yourself and create an island. And that contradiction takes place as a 1313, as a Taoistic moment, where you're not sure who to trust, but you know you have yourself. You don't know who the problem is, but you know you don't want the problem, and you know what an area feels like, that it is void of triggering you, that there is a problem. And so that feeling, that existence, that environment, that person, place, or thing is magnetizing you closer to trusting it, so that when you learn that trusting it is also in a way disconnecting yourself from the past. Who, what, where, when that situation is that's going to magnetize itself to you is that glimpse of the tunnel at the end, that which you think is hopeless, yet it's there already. Yet how close you are in the space to it and yourself is, again, the level of accuracy of accountability of the processed work you need to do spiritually, emotionally, logically, practically, mentally, physically, to move and create the space that cuts your own personal illusions and fortifies sustainable energy of accuracy. And what you may find is that a lot of the variables in life seem to have not changed, but your relationship to them has changed. And once your relationship to that has changed and becomes recognizable, your relationship to how well you play out with time and it will be based on the flow you create with your own knowing of the chord that you vibrate. Because you're taking accountability of the chord that you're vibrating and accepting that you will do whatever you need to do in order for that other vibration to want to also come in and play a harmonic, melodious, good sounding tune with you. So, let's see how that goes. So is it love? Sure, it's love. Is it not love? Yeah, it's also not love, because a lot of things that you will need to do are the not so loving parts. Addressing the not so beautiful parts. Learning how to love the ugly, the hermit. Taking control and full ownership of yourself. If anyone has been someone in the past on this channel, you know that my hermit card is the galaxy card. And the galaxy of that which it is that you are is understanding of that chord of the many vibrations that the world has an infinite opportunity to harmonize itself with you and you to it. That's your quantum magic. That's your galaxy. You're taking this next annular ticking of the predominant clock and reining shit in. And you're going to be a little bit like the 1717, like the snake in the garden. Okay, this is the 2025, I think it is in Chinese astrology, this year of the snake. Regardless, from beginning to end, every ticking of the time until that 90% of that calendar time is run by a lot of people, meaning January 1st, 2025. And then that starts getting ticked in the marker by many people. From that time until that change by the predominant masses, who then should go through every day until December 31st, 2025, and then January 1st, 2026. That whole beginning cycle, every ticking of the moment is a transformative fucking moment. So much so you may get chills right now because you just can't keep up. You won't be able to keep up. The only way to keep up is to breathe through it. And that's more of like being birthed. This is going to be a whole new birthing. Completely brand spanking fucking new. As if you came out of the womb and there's the breath of life. Welcome to Earth. Yep, breath of life. The 4 Emperor and 13 Death card. Resurrection. An absolute severance of toxicity. And it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy to get rid of people, you know? It's not it. You're just disconnecting yourself and then working yourself with what it is that you disconnected yourself with. So that's why when you cut the cord, it can be something, it's such a positive thing. It's 1,000% a positive thing done the quote unquote the right way. Okay. And you do so much benefit that whatever is left, that's where the narrative, if that goes back to you, that's when it's a good thing. If it falls wherever you cut it, it never wanted to be near you. So whether it's person, place, or thing, or a person who then is maybe still in your life physically, but spiritually is a little bit different, or emotionally is a little bit different, or logically is a little bit different, that might take a brand new shape for itself. However, you, depending on how accurate this energy reading is for you at this time or when you come across it, that's where those energies and color vibrations to make sense and unfold in that time when it's time for those vibrations to present themselves to you. There's a lot of codependency on other rather than self, which is, according to quantum magic, not a good thing, because you have all the things that you need to unfold yourself. And when you think there's an outside resource that you need, the same way you utilize this reading as an outside resource, it's your intuition that's asking you to lean a certain way and to trust the fact that you're curious to lean towards it. Can you lean back and be like, that's not for me? Absolutely. It's like picking up a book and that was suggested to you and you read a couple of pages and you realize it's not for you. Or maybe you push beyond that perimeter and you make it to the end of that book because you have to write something about it or have to project something about it. Maybe it gave you a perspective, even if you didn't really enjoy it. Maybe there's something there, you know? And that process, that formula, however that A plus B equals C for you, and that type of derivative of a flow is however that symbolical snake will be in your existence, whether you part of the snake here symbolically or not. This is going to be an annular cycle for however that means for you. And what I mean by that is when the masses of collective writes January 1st, 2025, and all the way to January 1st, 2026, from that time to that time, there are so many fundamental decisions that you will have to make out loud that you realize you've never made them before. You've never made those decisions before. You've never had to, there's going to be a lot of like, oh, I never did that before. Oh, I didn't think I could do that. Oh, who am I? Yeah, who am I? Four of Pentacles. What is mine? What do I hold on to? What's subjectively mine? What's objectively mine? And in quantum magic, what do you need? What do you need besides just you? And then everything else, once you have you, it's a gift. It's a gift. It's a lesson. And yes, also a curse. Because yes, there is shadow work. Oof. Because yes, there is shadow work. The Tower moment. That internal, what am I supposed to hold on to? Nothing. You got yourself. Everything's right intact. You ain't got to hold on to nothing. Nothing. Maybe you got to move a little bit. And you got to breathe these muscles. Bring some oxygen to these muscles. Maybe you got to do that, you know? Maybe you need a massage. Maybe you need a good sleep, you know? Maybe you just need to know what it means to be in flesh. Because everything within it is perfect. You're here. You're sharing this moment with all there is. You're accepting by being open-minded, and you're open-minded, and it's allowing acceptance. As much as it allows acceptance, it allows itself for disconnectedness, things that you may not agree with, may not understand, may understand later. And here we go. We have a situationship. You and I. Ooh, Lord. There's a lot of sorrow. Okay. We see that. That's all brought you here. But ether did not create that sorrow. You did not really create that sorrow. There's some regrets. I actually see a lot of regrets, whether that's one person holding them or it's spread out within a cumulative, a sea of regrets. I don't really care to pinpoint out, but there's a lot of people who feel gaslight of an opportunity. They feel robbed of an opportunity. They feel robbed of themselves. They feel like out of place, out of time, not in the right dimension, not in the right setting. This could be anywhere, any moment. Nothing too woo-woo or crazy into being a possibility of truth. Because whatever it is that calls your intuition is yours. And how well adept you are to that relationship of you, that's your relationship to your quantum magical self and your relationship to the quantum magic of all that there is. So, holding yourself too accountable for the things that you learn is more or less also shitting on the existence that birthed you. And it would be absolute shit to do that. Doing that means that you're not intact inside. And we need to figure out why. Why are you not feeling intact inside? Who has robbed your mental space and is inducing you that you are not worthy enough, valuable enough, that you gaslight, that you victimize too much? No. We were born with a lot of problems. Biblically, maybe they would say we were born sinners. I don't care for the religious scripture. I don't read it. I don't understand it because I haven't read it. So judge me if you want to. Don't care. Or do. Anyway, this space of quantum magic that upholds your characteristic is controlled only by the decisions and the choices in your experience of the flow of enjoying that quantum magic. You nearly don't even have to subjectify yourself for even agreeing with me that you are quantum magic. You're going to substitute it with anything else that you feel in your intuition resonates or doesn't resonate, to create that narrative within your tone of the voice of acknowledgement of self-talk, and however impactful that will be for you. That's the whole point of me being a reader, saying whatever I want in the way that I'm being upheld to do so. And that's it. Wind magic. All right, let's see if there's some other things. There will be a loss that is going to be fundamental and impactful for this individual to process through. It will be a massive healing opportunity. And I say healing opportunity because not everyone heals from a loss. Okay? It is a decision that you have to participate in order to be on that vibration. And some people don't choose it. Some people are stuck in not being able to create a narrative to be able to choose it. Some people are entertained by the world that they are and hide from it in appeasing other people that they would rather have something else, yet secretly they're totally content where they are. It's like in the Matrix, where that one guy pretty much kept everyone, or killed people in their real world to keep them in the Matrix. because he would rather have the luxury of tasting the steak and tasting things and being okay with being in that narrative. And what that more or less implies via the entertainment of that movie as well, whether it be my personal opinion, whatever, is that that individual's personal dialogue of that which no one else can see, yet via the entertainment you can, but no one else essentially can see, is that he has a mindset within himself internally that he rather not be in the space that he is with everyone else. And yeah, so anyway. The universe has a narrative that she would like to disclose with you. That the ego is in charge of 100% of your life's accolades and your life's miseries. The universe would like for you to understand that any malice or any suggestive turmoil that you have of a narrative within of how far away you are to achieving something, or how well you are in a spectrum of wealth or richness in life, or well-being in life, whatever topic you choose, it is determined by the colors that the ether of the universe that which you are coming from is not in charge of providing for you. Ether has an abundance of color vibrations that she has an abundance for you to participate in if you choose to become or be part of that vibration. You are always in charge of being in that vibration, and you're always have accessibility to that vibration, because wherever you have emotions that you may not know about, you want to be purified for it, or you want to find your truth, ether comes in and gives you beautiful things that you can participate in to feel enriched. And you may not know half the time why you feel so enriched, but let's call spade for spade anyway, that if you go outside and you go to the park and you're looking for a stress relief, more or less the stress relief will be provided in that moment, right? So nature can come in various symbolic ways and provide that cathartic release. And once we become more productive in being her cheerleader, and that she's always available in doing that for us, so we then become sole responsibility, propriety. We become sole propriety. We become aware that we have a sole propriety of our own relationship to being a child of hers, a color spectrum of hers. We're the baby quantum galaxy of that which she has to offer. And when this baby has to look up in the sky, she can see it, the sun and the moon, and they can provide a narrative as well. I think what the point is that the magic of quantum reality, of however you want to digest that for yourself, is all around of possibilities. And the more you understand that there is a huge space from between you and it, the more you understand why you can't blame it for the lack of you. There are people in your past life that may come forward and have to pretty much confess their sins, confess their truths. I think you're definitely going to be beginning 2026 with a whole new sense of clarity, pertaining a particular person, and this particular person is more or less a family member. This reveal might also be the reason why 2025 may be such a transformative moment for you. It's big. It will be big. Big in the fact that whatever it will trigger will be a Taoistic moment that will force the dialogue of sovereignty. Force the narrative of sovereignty, Ace of Wands. Because there's a sense of, you can't forget the beginning of the reading, the Five of Pentacles, where we're in too long of a cycle where it's wounded. And something of the past will come back and sever the ties to bring you more closure. Almost like another series to write, another sequel of the series or some shit like that. A new episode, a whole new season change, right? This is big news. With the Ten of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, it's something that you very much can benefit off of. It doesn't mean that it's not going to hurt, or that it couldn't hurt, or that the news might not be daunting. But wherever that whatever that uncovers will give you a fork in the road. And whatever road you decide to have chosen will be the decision based off of the road you have chosen up to that very point. And with the energies of this reading, I think you're very much going to make decisions up to that point and after that point that will bring clarity as to why it was a very hopeful lesson, maybe even a profitable lesson, all right, an investment, an opportunity, and even emotional investment, an emotional resurrection. It's something very positive. And I do see that some of you will go through that feeling that you were in the shadows, but once the reality of having been in the shadow, or the fact that you are walking in the shadows becomes clear to you, you'll understand the benefits of being within this cycle. All right, so remember that I have asked you to choose a color in the beginning of the reading, and I want you to get back to that color now and just accept the color that you've chosen. Don't so much lean into the force of what your feelings may be doing to you at this time. Whether it's anxiousness if you pick the right color, anxiousness if you were wrong, your intuition has chosen that color. And whatever logic you're trying to fight against having that chosen that color is the illusion. So again, make sure that the color is a color of either red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or indigo. Okay, not like aquamarine. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, or violet. And what I am doing now is I'm ending this reading and giving you the possibility to understand how accurate you are and with the alignment of the energies within this reading. So I am shuffling this deck, for this deck will give me the closest opportunity to play this game with you at this time. And we're going to be looking at the most prominent color of the card. And we're waiting for only one color to come out. And I will give you notes of the color and the color you may have chosen. What this will do, we will find out in a moment. So we are waiting for one card. Okay, so I have the card. Right now we're only going to be focusing on the color. So remember your color. All right. The color is going to be indigo. Indigo. So if you have chosen the color red for this entirety of the reading, your accuracy of the color vibration to the reading of how personal it is for you may only be an average of 25%, which means that you have about 75% of shadow work to do and 75% of things that you need to answer to. Next, if you've chosen the color orange, you may be only accurate for about 30 to 40% of the reading of color accuracy. So that means you have about 60 to 70% of shadow work to do to be in full alignment of the reading. If you have chosen yellow, that means according to the reading of the color indigo, you have about 60% color accuracy, which means you're 40% away from having to do shadow work to be 100% color accuracy of this reading. If you have chosen green, you are in about 50% accuracy of the reading, and you may only have about 50% of shadow work to do to be in full alignment of the reading. If you have chosen blue, you may be in 75% of alignment to the accuracy of the reading. That means your shadow work may only be 25%. If you've chosen indigo, you're at 100% of accuracy of the reading. If you have chosen violet, you're at 90% of accuracy of the reading. The message of the color indigo is judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Again, the color accuracy is to give you a suggestive that in listening to the reading, there is a percentage of how accurate this reading may be for you. If you want it to be closer of accuracy and belonging to this reading, then there is a percentage of shadow work that you may need to do on your own in order to get into 100% alignment of the energies being read for you by 7th. Okay? With that being said, collective, I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the space and time. I forgot what my usual thing is. Keep flowing, growing, and glowing. All right. And yeah, if you want any of my services, go check out the description box below. Take care.